So I'm sure you guys remember there was the Dominion lawsuit against Fox News where they said, hey, you guys are defaming us. Because, of course, there was commentary about how, Dominion's voting machines have been hacked or rigged and Maduro controlled them or Hugo Chavez controlled them and they changed votes to Biden and all this stuff. And, of course, that would hurt Dominion's business moving forward. And so they sued them and said, you're defaming us. None of this stuff is true. And what happened is before it actually got in court, they settled. It was like a day before it was supposed to go to court or the day of it was supposed to be in court. They settled. Fox News settled with them and paid them a colossal amount of money because they were effectively defaming them. But what happened was Fox didn't want all of the information to come out about what it's like behind the scenes at Fox News in what's called discovery, which is, when all of the facts are presented for the case. And they knew it would be embarrassing for Fox and their hosts if that information came out. So that's why they settled. That's why they paid a colossal amount of money. So one of the things that we learned with the leaks that we did get, we didn't get all of it. God, I wish we saw all of it. We didn't get all of it, but we got some leaks as to what the conversations were like behind the scenes at Fox. And one of the things we learned, beyond any doubt at all, is that Tucker Carlson despises Donald Trump, hates him with a burning passion. Burning passion. So here we have New York Times. I'll give you some examples here. So behind the scenes conversations, Alex Pfeiffer says, Trump has a pretty low rate at success in his business ventures. Tucker responds, that's for sure. All of them fail. What he's good at is destroying things. He's the undisputed world champion of that. So this is what Tucker really thinks when the camera's not on and he's not virtue signaling to a conservative audience. More. So this is on Trump's plan to skip Biden's inauguration. Tucker says, I'd heard that about the inauguration. Hard to believe. So destructive. It's disgusting. I'm trying to look away. By the way, this is something that goes even further than I went at the time. I thought that Trump skipping the inauguration, it's like a crybaby move. Well, we already know he's a brat and a crybaby, and it's like, I'd rather him not cause a scene and not be there than be there and cause a scene. So he's even more critical of Trump than me at this point in time. Okay, more. On his interactions with Trump's team over Sidney Powell, who, of course, is the Release the Kraken biggest crank spreading election misinformation about how, it was rigged and Biden stole it. She was the biggest liar of all of them. Carlson says, I had to try to make the White House disavow her, which they obviously should have done long before. Laura Ingraham responds, no serious lawyer could believe what they were saying. Carlson says, but they said nothing in public. Pretty disgusting. And now Trump, I learned this morning, is sitting back and letting them lose the Senate. He doesn't care. I care. In other words, Trump is a burden to all other Republican politicians. And he's selfish. He doesn't care about them. He cares about himself. Well, I care about the other Republicans. Again, anti-Trump. He's a burden. That's what he is. Now, this is the famous one here. Tucker also said, we are very, very close to being able to ignore Trump most nights. I truly can't wait. I hate him passionately. I hate him passionately. More. Tucker says, Trump has 2 weeks left. Once he's out, he becomes incalculably less powerful, even in the minds of his supporters. Wrong. He's a demonic force, a destroyer. Wow. But he's not going to destroy us. I've been thinking about this every day for 4 years. Pfeiffer says, you're right. I don't want to let him destroy me either. The Trump anger spiral is vicious. Carlson says, that's for sure. Deadly. It almost consumed me in November when Sidney Powell attacked us. It was very difficult to regain emotional control, but I knew I had to. We've got 2 weeks left. We can do this. So he was chomping at the bit to go all out and attack Trump. But he said, emotionally, I had to control myself because I don't want to lose my audience if I attack Trump. They all love Trump. So I have to pretend to love Trump, even though he calls him a destroyer and a demonic force. Demonic force. Quote, I hate him passionately. If there's anything you should take away from what I'm saying to you right now, it's this. Tucker Carlson doesn't like Trump even a little bit. This is what he really thinks when the cameras are off and he can tell the truth. This is what he really thinks. So why am I bringing this up? Why are we talking about this? I think you know where this is going. The Hill, this just came out. Tucker Carlson says he's backing Trump in 2024. Former Fox News pundit Tucker Carlson knows who he'll be supporting in the 2024 presidential election. Quote, I became an active Trump supporter when they raided Mar-a-Lago last summer, Carlson said on an episode of Roseanne Barr's podcast this week. That can't stand. And I agree with Trump on a lot. But even if I disagreed with Trump on a lot, I'd still be a Trump supporter because you cannot allow that. So now all of a sudden, total 180. So what happened? All that other stuff went away? Because what? You thought the raid of Mar-a-Lago was unfair? Even though Trump was being told for like a year and a half, sir, please give up the documents you have. It's illegal. You can't have them. They're top secret. They're classified. We got nuclear secrets. Please, sir, turn them over for the love of God. You didn't turn them all over, sir. Please turn the rest of them over. We're trying to make a deal with you. We're trying to be reasonable. We're trying to be kind. Oh, you're not listening. Why aren't you listening? Why do you have the documents? They're not safe there. They're in the fucking bathroom at Mar-a-Lago. Okay, I guess we got to do a raid. And according to Tucker, that's so unfair. It's so unfair and so unreasonable. I had to become a massive Trump supporter. Tucker Carlson is a liar. He's a liar. He doesn't have a single true, honest thought on air. When he gets in front of the audience, he's just virtue signaling. So why is he doing this? It's obvious, guys. It's obvious why he's doing this. It looks like Donald Trump is inevitable. He's up 40 some odd points. Everybody else is languishing. Nobody's making a real run at it. DeSantis is down at 12%. Nikki Haley's at about 10%. Trump's probably at 50% in some polls, right? Maybe a majority with all these other goofballs running. Even with just a strong plurality, he would win. He's probably at a majority. So why is Tucker Carlson doing this? Suck up to the powerful. Suck up to the one that's going to be calling the shots. Try to remain relevant. Try to ride the wave of the Trump support. That's why he's doing it. None of you should take this man seriously. None of you should. It's all finger in the wind. Where do I have to go to remain relevant? And by the way, over on Twitter, he is significantly less relevant. So this is even more an attempt to try to remain relevant. I find it so embarrassing. I mean, I'm at the point now where I would prefer Marianne Williamson, Cenk Uygur, or Dean Phillips over Biden, even though Biden's almost certainly going to be the nominee. If I was a little sycophant like Tucker, I would just shut up and, throw my hat in the ring with Joe Biden to go where the power is going to be. But I'm not that, because I'm honest. He's incredibly dishonest, because you know, and I know, what he really thinks of this man. So, I mean, I can't imagine living life like that. Everything's a fucking calculation, like it's Game of Thrones. Everything is wave riding for relevance. Nothing is a true or original thought. It actually reminds me of that very famous clip, and Tucker Carlson brought this up when talking about Bill O'Reilly, that, Bill O'Reilly played this role of I'm the everyman on TV, but the second that he's caught in first class on a plane ride screaming that he wants some Evian at the stewardess, that all of a sudden it'd be over. It'd be a wrap. Because the illusion would be eliminated. And he talked about that, about how he thought about that with Bill O'Reilly. And it's clear he's doing the same thing. He had an angle as I'm the more Trumpian of the hosts. I'm the more populist of the hosts. This is my lane. But if it's calculated, it's completely phony, it's fraudulent, and nobody should take you seriously. You shouldn't take a word this guy says seriously, because how do you know if it's what he really believes at all? The only thing I'm willing to trust is the secret stuff that he didn't know would ever be leaked. Because that's him talking to his friends when he thinks nobody else is paying attention. Anything he says publicly, it's all posturing, it's all virtue signaling. None of it is real. And so, look, this is for the Fox News viewer and the right-wing commentary lovers the most. Find somebody who really means it. Find somebody who really believes it. Not a liar, not a two-faced goon like this. I always talked about Ron Paul. He's super libertarian. Now, I'm not a libertarian. I'm on the left. I believe in social democracy. But I could respect Ron Paul because I knew he actually meant it and he believed it and he was ideological. He was telling the truth. Don't pick somebody who's two-faced, you don't even know what the hell they actually believe, and they're not serious. But that's what Tucker Carlson is. So find some right-wing pundit who's sincere, because this is the most insincere man on the planet. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.